So when you're saying I'm a vegetarian or I'm a vegan, you're saying I deny reality. You have to understand that vegetarianism and veganism is not a reality. It's not a human condition. It's a religion.
Hey, what is going on, guys? So today we're going to be talking about a viral, upcoming, red pill incel audience generating superstar and anti-vegan named Andrew Tate. He has been on the rise lately for reasons outside of his genius takes on vegans, but regardless, we're going to be going ahead and criticizing his criticisms of the vegan movement and the vegan lifestyle as a whole. Many people online have been criticizing him for things outside of veganism, for example, his takes on women, relationships, his business model, and some other people have actually accused him of being involved in human trafficking. These views and allegations concerning him have been given so much attention, so I'm going to be covering just the vegan takes he's been giving online in the last couple of years. Let's get right into it.
So, vegetarians and vegans. I know this is an easy subject. You're thinking, Tate is going for the low-hanging fruit. But my problems with vegetarians and vegans is a unique one. I have a problem with them I've never heard anyone else say. All
right, so we haven't heard his criticisms just yet, but Andrew is claiming that attacking vegans and vegetarians, what he really means is vegans, is akin to, grabbing low-hanging fruit. It's relatively easy. Now, it may seem easy to attack the moral philosophical arguments for veganism when you have little to no concept of moral philosophy, or maybe Andrew just hasn't engaged with a vegan who is decently well-read on the topic. He also says he has a rather unique take on vegans, which I myself am very excited for, because on this channel, it seems I'm responding to the same nonsense over and over and over. So let's see what this very unique take is.
But the reason for that is because if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you deny reality. You have to understand that vegetarianism and veganism is not a reality. It's not a human condition. It's a religion. People say, I'm a vegetarian, as if they are actually a vegetarian, but they're not. Humans are not vegetarians. Humans are omnivores. We eat everything. We eat meat. We eat plants, we eat lots of different things. So to say I'm a vegetarian isn't a reality because you're not a vegetarian.
All right, so Andrew is using the term vegan and vegetarian interchangeably, and if you keep watching the video, you'll see he's pretty much talking about ethical vegans. So from here on out, I'm just going to be referring to vegans when responding to him. So Andrew is saying that to be vegan is essentially to deny reality because humans are biological omnivores. Now, Andrew, you are making a very basic error here. When somebody asserts that they are vegan, they're not making any claims related to what diet is most natural for human beings. They are categorizing themselves with a label which posits that they live in a way which aims to minimize their financial support of the breeding, exploitation, commodification, and murder of animals for food, clothing, experimentation, and other forms of human benefit. In fact, the idea that human beings are omnivores is totally compatible with the proposition that someone can make in the form of I am a vegan. This is because identifying as a vegan and accepting the proposition that human beings are naturally omnivores are not mutually exclusive. One can accept the proposition, quote, humans are natural omnivores, while also identifying as a vegan and consuming an appropriately planned plant-based diet, which includes, say, a B12 supplement. And yes, the B12 supplement is not natural, but a plant-based diet which includes supplements can yield positive health outcomes even if the structure of this diet is not, quote, naturally omnivorous. I mention this because Andrew comes across as one of those people who think that the most natural diet for a human being is going to be the most healthy, and this just doesn't seem to be the case. I cover this more in a video titled 5 Things Vegans Need to Stop Doing. Now, when it comes to Andrew Tate, it does seem quite futile to appeal to any form of peer-reviewed empirical data or evidence when trying to bolster a point that I'm making in opposition to him. I say this because of a recent hilarious debate which Andrew Tate had with Hassan Piker, a famous left-wing political streamer, on whether or not women are worse drivers than men on average.
Andrew, I've seen some of your work as you're doing the rounds on Twitch here, and a lot of the things that you said that you've been called out on, specifically in regards to like women driving, as a matter of fact, are just generally untrue. There's no empirical evidence to back up those claims, which is why you resort to anecdotes quite frequently and say things like, oh, well, it's just common sense, right? But it's not technically common sense. It's just your personal opinion.
Completely. It's my personal opinion based on my personal biases of my life experience. Now, when I say these, yeah, exactly. And when I say these things, X amount of people agree with me and X amount of people disagree with me. That's fine, and that's the same of nearly any statement in the world.
Okay,
I
but
can say I can say the world is round, and there'll be a percentage of people who disagree with me. That's totally and utterly fine. I come on here and talk about my own personal experiences, and my experiences, men are better drivers than women. I'm not saying there's no good female drivers. I'm not saying a female can't.
No. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying. There is a truth, and then there is your own personal experiences backed by anecdotes, right? Or your own personal opinion backed by anecdotes from your own personal experiences. Now, your own personal experiences are oftentimes going to be incorrect and not close to the reality. That's why there's an entire field of statistical analysis. That's why we do empirical. That's why we rely on empirical evidence when we're making decisions. Why? Because we all carry a bunch of personal biases. And when we analyze situations, we do not have enough scope to grasp the entirety of the situation. We cannot comprehend it with our human brains.
Bro, listen,
which is why when it comes to women driving, it's a funny point because the truth is different. The truth is the exact opposite.
No, listen. First things first, there's lies, there's damn lies, and there's statistics. I'm sure you've heard that from Mark Twain. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you're deriving.
You can massage numbers, but
you're deriving your truth from an internet study. That's fine. You can derive your truth from an internet study on a bunch of different things. The truth of life is the truth that you experience as an individual. That is the only truth that we all live within. You live within your truths, I live within my truths, because these are the truths I've experienced as an individual. If certain things happen to you over and over and over and over and over again, but the truth on the internet says it's not true, that doesn't mean that your experiences are any less real. So if you to come here and say the internet says X, especially
your experiences can be real. You could be a statistical anomaly, as a matter of fact.
So, guys, Andrew Tate seems to be one of those geniuses who value their own subjective experience, which is subject to so many biases and other sources of distortion, over rigorous, strongly peer-reviewed data on particular topics. In some way, he seems to remind me of those ex-vegans who seem to value their loosely gathered subjective experience over peer-reviewed long-term data. When it comes to wanting to find truth, the error of valuing your own subjective experience over peer-reviewed empirical data is just one of the most basic errors somebody can make, and makes me question pretty much anything else Andrew Tate has to say about any topic. I mean, just think of any topic that one can form an opinion on based on their subjective experience, which can also be measured in some form through the scientific method. The shape of the earth, nutrition, women's tendency to be worse drivers than men, racist ideals. I mean, imagine actually being of the belief that your individual subjective experience, with the goal of obtaining the most truth possible, supersedes well-controlled, peer-reviewed empirical evidence that has been adjusted for so many factors overlooked by single individuals assessing their own personal experience. Genius. And just a quick rhetorical point, although I don't have any evidence of Andrew Tate doing this, it does seem like meat eaters on average are the ones who are denying reality when they refuse to watch the footage which shows how their food gets to them, and instead, go for imagining a very happy farm in which the animals they are now consuming were exploited and murdered very nicely and happily. Guys, we are only 1 minute into his cringe video, and we're already this far into my video, so let's just keep going. I could probably say a lot more than I already have, but we got to get through this video, so let's keep going.
You believe in vegetarianism. You practice vegetarianism, but you are not a vegetarian. Because as a human, you're not a vegetarian. So that's the first thing. It's a religion. And it's a religion which is fervently protected and defended and propagated as some kind of ethical life choice.
So we have another case of somebody claiming that the desire to reduce animal abuse is just a religion. No, Andrew, it's just a set of moral principles. Andrew Tate loves dogs and has done plenty to help dogs who are stray. Does this mean that Andrew Tate's vehement love for dogs is representative of a religion? No, it's just a set of moral principles.
Why do you think this is so important? Oh, but the animals suffer. Shut the fuck up, man. Shut up. The world is suffering. Everyone suffers. You suffer, I suffer, everybody suffers.
All right, so now we have Andrew Tate trying to trivialize the suffering and death which vegans aim to minimize by spouting the appeal to futility fallacy in the form of, oh, dude, everything is suffering. Suffering happens all the time. Blah, 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 the world is suffering. You have to wonder if Andrew, who is an avid lover of dogs, has no issue with the suffering and death of dogs in the Yulin Dog Festival because, quote, bro, the world is suffering. Probably not. I mean, really, you gotta wonder how Andrew does all this work for dogs, just like vegans do all this work for farm animals and animals that are, tested on and used for clothing, when bro, the world is just suffering. Just another anti-vegan inconsistently deploying the reasoning of, oh dude, the whole world is suffering, when trying to minimize the severity and cruelty that is the animal agriculture industry and how much it affects animals who suffer and die by the billions every year. For, of course, trivial reasons.
They deny reality, and the reason they deny reality is this. For something to live, and for something to prosper, and for something to survive, something else must die. This is a constant, it's a universal truth, and it's always been true. Even for a plant to live and strive and grow, it has to destroy or absorb minerals. Something else must be destroyed or absorbed or taken apart for something else to grow. This is the natural human condition. Not even the human condition, this is the natural condition of the universe. Even planets destroy other things to create themselves.
All right, so Andrew Tate further supports his proposition that vegans are denying reality in explaining how vegans deny the fact that the universal law of the world, of the universe, dictates that beings need to destroy other beings to survive, or like life has to die in order for other life to live, etc. Now here's the thing. Vegans do not deny that this is a thing that exists. We acknowledge it, and we think we should make efforts to reduce suffering. I highly doubt that Andrew Tate would consider a moral objection to the mass breeding and killing of dogs and humans for food as representative of somebody denying reality. One can accept the existence of the inevitable process by which things grow, while also possessing moral principles which aim to reduce the suffering and death derived from this inevitable process.
Plants, you still kill plants. Oh, but they're not sentient. You're still killing shit. So who cares? It's just ridiculous.
All right, so now Andrew is giving plants rights activist kind of vibes here. He even acknowledges that plants are not sentient, but still thinks that vegans are being inconsistent in killing plants while wanting to defend animals. This is just an error in understanding the vegan moral philosophy. Vegans care about sentient life, not life. You don't see us protesting for bacterial life for the same reasons you don't see us protesting for plant life. To bring up non-sentient life as a group of concern to a group of people whose collective goal involves protecting sentient life is just dumb as fuck. You are simply missing the point of the movement as a whole.
But once you get with a vegetarian long term, after you sleep with them and whatever, you get with them long term. Every vegetarian and vegan I've ever had has cooked me meat. And I've been very, very stringent about that point. I've had vegans say, I would rather split out than cook you a steak. I'm like, get the fuck out then. Because I'm a meat eater, and this is my house, and I pay the rent, and there's meat in the freezer that he's cooking, and you're cooking it for me. So either cook it or get the fuck out. Because what you cannot do is let them impose their garbage religion on you. Because that's what they want to do. I was about to say I don't have a problem. I do have a problem. My problem with vegans and vegetarians, I've just explained, they deny reality. That's fine. But one thing I will certainly never allow happen is someone who denies reality forcing their garbage version of existence upon me. I will never deny reality for anybody. So if you want to deny reality and you want to eat grass and live on carrots, good. But when I want a steak, bitch, you're going to cook it.
And guys, if you end up getting with a non-cannibal or someone who doesn't eat dogs, and you end up sleeping with them and you get married, and they refuse to cook you up some dead human, and they refuse to go ahead and buy you the corpse of a dead human or a dead dog, I mean, bro, like that's just so fucked up. Like, how are they going to sit there and put their own morals on you and impose their own morals on you? Like, you have the right to go ahead and pay for humans to be murdered for food, and same with dogs. I mean, for real, like, just honestly, fuck that bitch. Just break up with her. Like, how is she going to come here and impose human rights on your human right to infringe upon the human rights of other humans? Like, this is just so messed up, guys. So, guys, if you want to be an absolute alpha, if you're dating a girl and she ends up being against cannibalism and against dogs, I mean, bro, just be an alpha. Just break up with her. This is your house, bro. You pay the bills. Fuck her. Just go ahead and find another woman who is willing to pay for humans to be murdered for your human steak, or pay for dogs to be murdered for your dog bacon. All right, guys? Absolute alpha. Guys, this is amazing. I can't believe we're learning all of these amazing traits from Andrew Tate. He's just such an amazing guy. I hope that every up-and-coming insecure dude who needs a role model, who didn't really have much growing up, finds Andrew Tate and becomes the alpha top G that he is. Because this dude really knows his shit. Screw empirical evidence. Just go off your subjective experience, because, you know, that's not, subject to any sort of biases or anything like that. Like, nah, like, your subjective experience is the absolute truth, and there's nothing else outside of that. There's no such thing as making errors. There's no such thing as having like memory problems or anything. Your experience and how you recollect your past is all you need to just go off of, guys. This is the way we should navigate the world empirically. Go Andrew Tate, absolute alpha dog. Actually, I'm gonna probably never date a non-cannibal again now that I'm seeing this dude's advice. I mean, again, what right do non-cannibals have to push their non-cannibalistic views on me when I want a human steak? So fucked up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and by the way, jokes aside, I do have a vegan ebook, which can be linked down below if you're interested in supporting my work and understanding what all the best arguments are against the anti-vegan arguments you're going to be seeing online for the longest time, probably. They seem to keep coming. And I didn't really have to put any new ones after seeing Andrew Tate's video because, let's be honest, none of this was really unique. It's all very similar to what we've heard already. If you'd like to support my work on Patreon, the link is also down below. You can get early access to videos and other perks. Thank you again for watching, or thank you so much for watching. I'm not sure if I said it already. And I'll see you in the next video.
Dude,
fuck off. I don't want anything to do with you. Don't ever speak to me again. You're a fucking piece of shit.
even vegans don't get your weird, stupid wannabe sense of irony here. Who is your audience? Nobody gets these dumb jokes. Dude,